I'm filming this for the week of my birthday, which is August 13th. And I always like to use my birthday. I used to ignore it a whole bunch. I didn't think it was worth anything. But I love to use it as a passage of time to be able to reflect on the past. And as I reflect on the past, one of the things that comes forward to me clearly is I really care what people think about me. But the problem is I still really care what people think about me. And I've come to accept that. But I used to be a paralyzed people pleaser. I used to literally shut down if there was any indication potentially that I was disappointing someone, letting them down, not showing up the way they wanted me to. And so any conflict, any confrontation, any disagreements, I would just utterly, my whole system would shut down. Fight, flight, or freeze, I just froze. Sometimes I fled, sometimes I fought, but rarely did I even fight. And so I would start getting angry with others, even if I didn't fight with them. And even if I did fight with them, really, at the end of the day, what I found is I started to not like myself. I started to be angry at myself. And so I had this one dreaded question just rolling around in my head over and over again. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Because clearly this was occurring everywhere. What's wrong with me? And what a dreaded question to have repeat in our head over and over, or at least in my head, over and over. And as many of us have learned, what we ask ourselves, we're going to find an answer for. So if the question I start going, well, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why does this keep happening to me? I'm going to get that answer. Well, I'm a weak person. Well, I'm not suited to be a business owner. Well, I'm not suited to lead other people. But I'm not suited to be able to live a life on my terms. And so by answering that question that way of, because I was blaming myself and angry at myself for blaming myself, and then I'd get angry at myself for blaming myself, and the cycle would just continue where I would go, what's wrong with me? And what ended up happening is I ended up ruining so much in my life. Romantic relationships, whether it was a girlfriend or a first marriage, my own health, absolutely my happiness, relationships with friends and families, because I started just going, well, something's wrong with me, so I don't know what to do. And when I hit that point where really I did a lot of destructive things in my life to make other people happy and deny myself the things that I wanted in life, even if it was as simple as being like, well, I want to go to Italian food, but my friends or relationships want to go to Mexican, and I don't want to let them down. So I found I just wanted something for myself. Like once I hit that bottom, I went, I got no one to blame. I really don't. And so I said, I got to figure this out, because I see other people in the world functioning who have same dreams and aspirations that I do. So I had to take responsibility and go, okay, I got to look at me here. And in order to take responsibility, the words are responsibility to be able to respond. And that's maturity. The definition of maturity is the ability to respond. So maturity is the ability to go, I understand how other people impact me. Maturity is the ability to go, I understand how I impact other people. And maturity is, most of all, I understand how I impact myself. And so I started asking myself better questions, curious questions. I wonder what I'm showing up as that brings this other person to feel that way. I wonder what that person did to make me feel this way. What's the story I'm making up about myself? What is it about me that keeps wanting to put other people first? So maturity was the ability to ask myself powerful questions that might have been super scary questions. And so I welcome you to do the same for yourself. And maybe you already do it, but maybe you do it unconsciously. So I just want to bring to the forefront that unconscious behaviors made conscious give us the ability to control more in our life. And the faster we can spot things in our life, the faster we can spot the behaviors we do to ourselves, the faster we can break it. And so I want to make an agreement for whoever needs to hear this right now. Let's start recognizing there's nothing wrong with you, right? There's nothing wrong with you. I heard a tea master, Wu De is his name, once say, "You're perfect just the way you are, but you have a lot of work to do." And I love that, because if we want to grow, we're always going to have the work to do. And that's not scary, because everything that we want to grow into, there's going to be some form of discomfort related to that for us to be able to do that. There's nothing wrong with you. Coaching is, I'm here and I want to go there. It's not, I'm broken, so I must get fixed. It goes, we want to evolve. We want to move away from asking that question of what's wrong with me. Start going, what's great about me? So as we ask better questions, we start to heighten our maturity. And so I want to give you a few questions that I wrote down here that I welcome you to start asking yourself today. Guess what? Asking questions costs no money. It takes barely any time. You could do it while walking from one place to another. So here's the questions for you that I'd love for you to journal. I'm a big fan of journaling. Or even email me, or reply to this blog entry or email. The first question I wrote down is, what do I do that causes pain in others? The second question is, what do I allow others to do that creates pain in me? And then the third question, I'm reading them here, is, what do I do that creates pain in myself? And it's okay, don't go for perfection here. Our answers don't have to be perfect. No one's grading you on spelling nor answer. All that matters is that we start to crack the eggshell open and start going, I'm going to ask myself more questions to take responsibility. I'm going to be able to respond to the internal stimulation that impacts me as well as the external stimulation that impacts me. Life will come with discomfort. Life absolutely will come with the need to disappoint other people in a responsible way. We can't avoid that if we want to pursue a life fulfilling to us. And so gratitude, I believe, plays a huge responsibility, huge role in our growth. Because we have to go, well, what am I feeling? Oh, I'm so grateful that I recognize that I feel this crap right now, because it means I got to do something with it. And what I was doing when I became physically and cognitively paralyzed is I would feel it and I would try to run away from it. Instead of going, oh, you're trying to tell me something? Oh my gosh. Now I go, I'm so grateful that I'm frustrated because it means I need to pay attention to something here. What do I need to pay attention to? And that's optimism. I've got this crappy feeling. What do I do with it now? Optimism is hope for the future. I've got this feeling. I can do something with this. And that is the habit of gratitude. And when we live the habit of gratitude, we will live life on our terms. Mahalo.